Hi, everybody. I'm just going to wait a few minutes. Hi. I'm going to wait a few minutes. Hi, Sylphie. Until we got some people in my live. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes. Hi. Hey, Josiah, baby. Hi, Donna. Hi, Sarai. Hey, Christical. Hi, Sana. Thank you guys so much for joining. What time is it in Norway? It's 11 p.m. here in Holland. So I don't know if there are any Dutch people here or people from Europe. But then, oh, Australia, good morning, huh? We're the night owls here in Europe. Haley. What time is it there? In Scotland, right? Hi, Charlene. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing these 3 nails. Hi, Kathy. So 2 years ago, my sister and I were like, I wonder what matte would look like over clear. And so we tried it on this mani. I don't know if you guys remember it. So we tried matte over clear, and it was like such a success. Like, people loved it. They're like, what is that frosted look? What is that frosted look? So that's why I wanted to teach that today, just in case someone didn't know that it was just matte over clear. So we are going to do some frosty nails for the winter. Hi, Yvonne. Shaman. Oh, 8 a.m. Okay, I'd rather be up at 11 a.m. p.m. Susan. 8 a.m. is crazy. But thank you for joining. Yes, it's 11 here too. Okay, so we're going to do some frosty nails for winter. I'm going to show you some sets I did with them so you guys kind of can think about how to combine these designs. So here I did Max 2 years ago, and here we have this. We're going to do this one. I don't know if you guys remember that one. I think I recently reposted it. And then we're going to do this negative space snowflake. This is one we're going to do as well. Negative space snowflake. I'm just wanting to show you guys some really quick designs, you know, because during Christmas, even the people that never want art, you know? So you're super busy and you need to create something super quick and pretty. And here, this is another way that you can create the frosted look. You can put snowflakes underneath. I used clear glitter here, but today I'm going to use acrylic powder mixed with, am I speaking loud? I'm probably speaking loud. I always like to shout in the class. I'm going to use a acrylic powder, colored acrylic powder from Ugly Duckling, of course, number 35. And then you get like silver in between as well. Okay, before, I don't have a glove on this hand because I'm going to show you that before you do these nails, because they're kind of see-through-ish, you need to make sure that the nails are filed completely short. Like, there should be no like white part. So I'm going to show you why. See, you see the nail underneath. So when you decide to do these frosted looks, file the nail completely short. Like, you should not be able to see it at all. Okay? Alrighty. Let me see if I can get these gloves on. I normally don't work with gloves. because I don't do customers, but you don't need to be looking at my wrinkly hands the entire time, right? All right, let's start with the easiest. We are going to do that one first. So for these designs, I am going to use the striper brush. So if you have something similar, it's going to be thin and long. I'm going to use the duck paddle, my fave tool. It has a thingy at the end, a paddle. Let me zoom this out a bit. Can I zoom it out? It doesn't want to. Okay. So it has this side at the this one side. You can mix colors with it. And this side you can sugar with, and I love to sugar, obviously, if you've seen my work. Oh, I'm so glad that my video is clear and focused, because I really don't like online classes when the Wi-Fi sucks, or, you know, I really don't like online classes, period. But whatever. Yvonne asks, Yvonne is the boss. I'll do anything. Can't say no. Okay, so let's start with that nail. I am going to use tippies. I love tippies. This is super annoying that I can't zoom out. I'm just gonna pull that up. I use tippies. I love the pointed almond. It's my favorite. I use these tips. My fave. If you want, you can make yourself a press-on set. I was busy making myself a press-on set. I was gonna do this one, and then add the nails that we're gonna do now. It's always nice to have nails done that you can use, so you're not practicing for nothing. Alrighty. I am going to use white art gel. I'm going to use, I have the tip here. Push this down. Put that there. All right. So what I do is I just use this clear tip right on that clear tip, and then I will draw the icicles. Super simple. I'm gonna use some art gel. I'm gonna put that on my palette. This palette is life. I can't live without it. So glad we have it. It's so fancy and heavy, so it doesn't move. It's perfect. Alrighty, let me show you. It's just like the blood droplet nails that were going on in Halloween. It goes from short to long. That's the prettiest, I find. I mean, it's kind of weird if you have long here and then short there. I like when it goes, oh, sorry, it's not in there. So it goes from short to long. I find that the prettiest. My cat's complaining. I don't know if you hear him. He doesn't like it when I speak to people. He just wants all the attention himself. Alrighty, so we're gonna do the icicles just on the clear nail. Normally you would buff it and then take the dust off, but I am not going to do that because it's just a tip and I don't want to waste time. I want to show you guys as much as I can. So it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just gonna pull down some lines. They don't have to be perfect. Going from short to longer. And I'm gonna put one here. Oh, there's dust. Oh, what is Sir Louis? It's like having a child. And we're gonna have a little short one going there. And then I like to make it flow. So I'm gonna have the curves and then color the rest in. It doesn't have to be nice because it's icicles. It doesn't have to be perfect, which is great. Let me go there. Should I zoom out a bit? The phone is like in my cheek. I don't know if you guys know this, but online stuff, it's kind of awkward. I went a little bit too low, but that's okay. This is just messy. And then you just color it in. I'm using my striper brush. You could actually also just use the painter right now. That would be better. I didn't go through all the brush care and how to use your brush because, yeah, all the previous videos already did it. So let's not waste time. Whenever I use my brush, I do not press down hard because it's not a pencil or a pen. So you just have to pull the art gel where you want to have it. If you don't have art gel, you could also do this with gel polish. It's not a biggie. Oh, my nose, it's running. Okay, now I'm going to take my striper and I'm going to make them a bit thicker. And remember, it can be an imperfect line. It is not a problem. Sorry, I don't know why I have this every time when I teach. My nose runs when I eat, even if it's not pepper, and when I teach. It's weird. I'm a weird person. So right now I'm just making it, the icicles, a little bit thicker around the end where it's supposed to be like having leaked down, so it goes, so it looks a little bit more realistic. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to sugar the entire thing. So that makes me happy. It's hard to do something perfectly. Stressful. Gosh, I didn't even introduce myself. How rude of me. My name is Priscilla. I'm from Suriname. I lived in Canada for a year, worked for Ugly Duckling for a year. Then during the corona, I came to Holland. And now I'm living with my mom. Yeah, it's okay. 41-year-old living with her mom, me and a cat. Typical cat lady, but then living with my mom. I don't do customers anymore. I just do this for fun. I teach. I don't do online classes because I don't like them at all. And I think people would want to learn how to do characters, and characters would take forever. I would not want to go through that. I wouldn't want to be a student to go through that either. Okay. See, it's not perfect at all. Let's make it a little bit wider here. But it doesn't matter. We're going to cure that. I'm going to do a full cure. Remember, you could do this with gel polish or our color gel. For those of you that have it, it is also life. Or art gel. Okay. It's going to go in the lamp. Thank you, Anya. Now I got a chance to see. Hey, that's cool. We got a cat dad. That's cool. Cats are life. Hi, Karina. Nice meeting you too. Hey, Jennifer. I am doing this frosted nail. Bonnie, I miss you. I'm doing this frosted nail. Ugh, it's stuck on my glove. This frosted nail. It's easy. We want to do some easy stuff for Christmas because customers all want art. Like even the people that just have one color manis, they want art. It's like, seriously, people. So that's why we want to do some quick stuff. So now, after curing this, I am going to put a layer of base top. It's our tacky top. I just like working with this. It's my fave. I use it to clean brushes. We have a tutorial on cleaning brushes on our YouTube channel. It's very good. So you want to check that out to make sure you have your brushes last long. So I put a thin layer of that, and I will sugar it with our 35 colored acrylics. And I'll use my duck paddle. Look how pretty it is. Oh, it's life. Okay, let me move stuff because when you sugar, stuff gets everywhere. So if you need to sugar or do chrome or anything like that, make sure that it is the last nail you do so it doesn't get everywhere. Okay, when sugaring, you see the tacky top is sucking in the colored acrylic. You want to keep sugaring until it no longer shines. It has to be matte. So we are gonna load that on. And it's so easy and it's so pretty. And if people complain that it gets dirty, what I used to do is I would give them like a little bottle of 90% alcohol, you know, because people like use makeup, and my best friend in Suriname, she's a makeup freak, and all her white nails always turn like skin color. So I give my customers 90% alcohol, a bottle of 90% alcohol, and then just they can clean it with a cotton wipe. It helps. And I'm just loading it on, checking if there's any area that's still shiny. Do you see how pretty it is? Oh my God, it's life. Don't touch it either. If you by accident touch this nail with your duck paddle, you could just wipe it off and do it again. Yes, I'm speaking from experience. Okay, so tap that nail, and look how pretty it is. Okay, see, so you didn't even need to make that neat. It's good. So I'm gonna pop that in a lamp for a full cure. And then we are going to do this nail, this one. Remember to file all the nails short when you do this, because otherwise you see the nail underneath and it looks messy. Let me close my colored acrylic and move it, because I know myself. I know I'm just gonna drop it and it's gonna fall all over. I remember my first live was for Alina, and I didn't have any stuff with me, and I dropped all my Swarovski, the box. It was just all over the place. So close everything. If you're like me, close all the pots, everything. It's still in the lamp. It's baking. Okay. So when you wipe off the excess glitter or acrylic, colored acrylic, have a separate brush for when you just sugar with clear acrylic, or when you sugar with glitter or chrome or anything. So you need to have a different brush. So this is my glittery brush, and I have another brush that is my regular one. So I'm going to brush that off. And then that's done. Isn't that quick? So let's move on to the next. Okay, so we are going to do this nail. For this one, I use builder gel. If you don't have builder gel, you can work with how do you call that? Regular top coat, but it's a bit thinner. So I would just use builder or hard gel for this. I'm gonna add a little bit of builder base on my palette. And if you want it to be a little bit more visible, mix it with a tiny little bit of white art gel. So super tiny. We still want it to look like frosty. So I mix it with a tiny little bit of white art gel. Like, okay, that's too little. Like this much. Yeah. We're gonna mix that and make it a milky white. I'm gonna try and get thinner lines compared to this one. Okay, see the duck paddle, you can mix this. It's great, love it. Oh, sorry, bumped that. Okay, for the frosted look, we are going to put a layer of matte top coat over the nail. And again, you would have to buff it if it was like a real nail, but since it's not a real nail, it's just for showing, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to waste time. Just a layer of matte top coat. Love this matte top coat. We won awards for this, I think 3 years in a row. So, you know, if we won once, that may have been luck, but 3 times, that's not luck. Okay, we're gonna put that in the lamp. It's bacon. So if you have questions, you could do it now while it's cooking. 3 awards, 3 times in a row. Oh, okay. You can use prep instead of buffing. Yeah, but you could also just not use anything. Because it's just for showing, Anya. And I'm using my crystal tip display. It's gorge. I just asked for a new one because mine looks kind of crummy for how do you call it, for the live. So I asked for a new one. See, this one's pretty. It's perfect for when you do sets. All right, so now we have to wipe. Yeah, yes, you can use sculpting gel. I just like tacky top better. I use it for everything. I use it for sugaring. I use it for cleaning, cleaning my brushes. I don't know. I like it. You can put top coat over the acrylic powder, but then it won't look so frosty. It would just be glittery. It's also pretty. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Let me clean my brush. I'm going to use the striper for this one too. Use a little bit. So what I do when I do my... This is going to be the same idea as for the negative space snowflake we're gonna do in a bit. I mean drawing the snowflake, that is. Yeah, you see I'm really twirling that in there. I want to get it between all the hairs. All right. So I have a little bit on my striper brush, and I will do the middle one first. When you put matte top coat, be careful that it doesn't go underneath, because you see it there. That is gonna bug me now. Oh, annoying. I first make one line in around the middle of the nail and have it go down. Then I don't know if you guys can see this so good because it's so clear, but okay. And then I will do the sides. I will do one going down. I will turn the nail upside down. You can also do this with a customer. It's no problem. Turn the fingers as you want, because they're only sitting with you for a few hours and you're doing this all day. So don't break your back. They can break their backs for a little bit. They want these designs. They gotta suffer a little bit. You see, I'm not taking very much on my brush. And then we're gonna do the middle. So I have the middle here, and then I have the two lines on the sides, and then we want to make the line in between those, if you get that. Hope it's clear. And then we want the middle of these two. Maybe I should draw this out first. That would have been better, huh? Let me see, where's the pen? I'm gonna write on my tissue. All right, so we have the side of the nail. Oh, wow, I'm much better with a paintbrush. Don't shape like this, people. Okay, so I put the line here, and like that, and like that. Yeah, pretend this nail is not this funky. Okay, let me do another one. This is, you can't look at that properly. I'm much better on nails than, but okay. All right, we have these, and then we have in the middle of those two. And then we are going to make a little V in between them. And then I'm going to do like a little swirly going down and a swirly going down each of those ends that are sticking out. And then you can also put a dot if you want at the edges. Okay, I don't know. Just to give you some quick idea. Don't make it like that. Like how I did on the paper. It's just to give you an idea. All right, so I'm going to make those V's. I pull from both sides. from the line here and the line here, I'll just pull to get that V. And then the middle line, and the V's have to touch with the next one. It has to go in a little bit of a circle. We want them all the same size-ish. Okay, and then I'm going to make a swirly, a little swirly. You kind of just, you see that little bally on my striper? We are going to press and let go. Press and let go, so that it goes from thick to thin. Press and let go. Press and let go. Press and let go. You get the point. All of them will get that. And then if you want, you can take a dotting tool. I'm going to use the Omni tool, if I figure out where it is, or the other side of the blinger tool. There's my Omni tool. The Omni tool is a blinger tool and has two daughters. So it has a little one and it has a bigger one. It's life, of course. I'm going to take the bigger side and I'm going to, is that a hair in my, there's a hair or dust. The bad thing about living in the cold is that you're always wearing fluffy stuff and then you get fluffy stuff in the nails. But okay, it's out. Okay, now you can put a dot. I'm going to put a dot in between them. But you could do whatever you like, whatever you think is pretty, go for it. It's very hard to see, but this is what it is. It's okay. Let's sugar that so we can get to the other nail. Where's my, oh yeah, I closed it and moved it, which is smart. If you are using tippies, you and you're going to do a clear nail, file this part off. Make it a little bit shorter because you see the number. Okay, let's sugar that. Oh wait, I want a little dot in the middle as well. So I'm going to use my, make a dot right there, right in the middle. And then I'm going to sugar. And sugar until it is no longer shiny. Let that top coat or gel or builder gel, whatever you're using, suck in all the colored acrylic. Or you can also use clear glitter, or you can mix clear glitter with acrylic. Possibilities are endless. I had lots of questions on how I did this. That's why I'm teaching it. So that the next time someone asks me, I'm gonna be like, check out Ugly Duckling Nails on YouTube. There's a tutorial. It'll just save so much time instead of me having to explain it. And really, I'm like, I can't explain this in a comment. It's like, really? It's gonna be an essay. Alrighty. So now I'm gonna tap the excess and then put it in a lamp. And then we brush it off, and then we're done. Isn't that amazing? Quick designs are life. For those of you that want to know how long I take on my characters, it is usually, like if it's shaded and stuff, 3 to 4 hours, and sometimes even, oh no, and sometimes even longer. I take forever because I'm a perfectionist, and I find it's such a waste of time to rush, and then the result sucks. Even if you finish it in 30 minutes, it's 30 minutes of wasted time. You should be happy with your results. So I take forever. And when do you plan those people in? I plan them in at the end of my day, so I'm not rushed. I used to do their manis and say come back, or do their manis at the end. They're like my last customer. Okay, so let's take that off. Okay, I'm not gonna do it above the art gel and things like that. So let me wipe that. I'm gonna wipe that with alcohol. And when you're charging, I would charge per hour for art, because then people see you're not, I'm going to take this off so I can show you the design. Okay. Do you see that? Do you like that? Okay. So we did 2 nails. Now we are going to do this one. I did this design 2 years ago, or last year. No, I did this last year. Okay, let me get a nail. Here's a nail. Oh, that was stupid. Okay, so what I want to do right now is outline I'm going to outline this with very thin lines, and then I'm going to color in the white around it with normal gel polish, white gel polish. And then when I'm done, I will put matte over everything, and then I will use art gel over it and sugar it, but with regular acrylic. If you want it to look matte, you got to sugar it with regular acrylic, clear acrylic. If you want it to stay shiny, you could just pop it in the lamp as it is and it will be shiny. But I like how it looks matte. Okay, so the same idea as, let me put some more white art gel. So in order to do this really thin, it's really hard to draw on a clear nail. I tried with Olaf and I'm never doing it again, because you can't see what you're doing because of the putty here, and it just sucks. So if you want to make it easier, you make it matte first, and that helps. I think I'll do that this time as well. Why make it hard on myself? And again, before you do this on a regular nail, use prep, right? Or buff the nail. I have fluff in it, but it's fine. I'm just leaving it. No one's got time for that. Yes, I'm using tippies. I always use tippies. Tippies are life. Oops. I'm going to use the ones I'm going to leave the ones that I did out of class because those are nicer. You can always watch this live again. I use sticky tack, glue tack, probably the same, but it works. All right, so we are going to wipe off that dispersion layer and make it matte so we can see what we're doing. Oh, I see I got some glitter in there too. Whatever, you know, so that happens when you're in a rush. All right, so very thin lines. I'm using art gel. I'm going to pull the line in the middle, very thin. I hardly have any product on my brush, my striper brush. I'm going to do it on the sides like so. See, it's much easier when you make it matte. You can actually see what you're doing. And we kind of want to use a lot of the nail. So I'm going to pull that so people can really see that negative space. I love negative space nails. I also did a spider web last year. I reposted it this year. I just love negative space nails. All right. And then we are going to do those V's. But this time we're going to do 2 V's. Really thin because we are going to go over it again later. Very thin. So just work with the tip of your brush. Don't press it hard. We don't want to see the brush bend. That is really the trick to getting thin lines. You just pull the product where you want to have it. Just checking if I'm in, if you're seeing this or not. Yeah. There's glitter in my nail. Don't have glitter in your nail, please. Try to work as clean as possible. And I hope you guys like this design. You know, when you create a design and you're like, yes, or maybe I am. I'm like a psycho. I really like stare. I'm going to do another one of these, another row of these V's. Okay, when I'm like thinking up a design, it's usually like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just staring at the set like it's missing something. What is it missing? Like I'm staring at it like a psycho. My cat must be like, this woman, oh my goodness. So I'm staring. I'm like, what is missing? What does the set need? And then I come up with something. I'm like, oh, hallelujahs. But sometimes that can take, I have lots of tips that I throw away that I'm not happy about. it sometimes just isn't right. So you gotta try it again, or it's another color. The design is a bomb, and then it's just needs to be another color. It's a lot of work. Okay, so there you have it. And then I am going, if you want, you can make another layer to make it even wider. I did that with this thumbnail. So that was like 1, 2, 3. You could do that as well if you wanted bigger, but we don't. We're just gonna leave it as is. I am putting it in the lamp. Once you have the outline really thinly drawn, you put it in the lamp. If you have any questions, you could ask now if you want. Because it's in the lamp, I'm waiting. Isn't this pretty? I'm using Builder Base. I'm using Builder Base, and I mixed it with a little bit of art gel, a little bit of white art gel. For this one, right? For this one, I mix it with a little bit of art gel. Okay, so now I'm going to take my white gel polish number 44. I'm going to put it on my palette, and I'm going to color around the snowflake. With my painter brush. And I'm going to stop at the edge. I'm going to go over the lines that are sticking out of the snowflake. It's fine. We're going to draw them later. See, these nails are pretty simple, aren't they? We like simple during Christmas, don't we? Oh, Christmas. I feel so sorry for nail techs when they're like, I know, that's like, you have no time to eat, you have no time to pee, you have no time for nothing. I once was in such a hurry. I dropped my whole Swarovski box. That almost brought me to tears. Yeah, rushing sucks. Okay, so we're gonna stick that for full cure in the lamp. You see, just the outside. This is the painter brush, and this is just gel polish I'm using to color around the nail. When you charge, it's different from every area that you're in. Like, it depends on your economy, it depends on the products you use, it depends on your experience, so many factors. So I can't really say how much you should charge, but I charged per hour when I used to do art. So and I lived in Suriname, so the economy sucks there. It's really bad. So I didn't charge a lot. I think I charged like $30 per hour for any art. But that's also because I wanted to post things. So I'm assuming that if you... I'm going to put another layer while I speak. So I'm assuming that if you could do a client in that time that you're doing art, it should be approximately the same time as a set. So I don't know, it's difficult. Pricing is a difficult thing. I saw a lot of questions about it in the previous lives, and I was like, okay, let me just answer. Putting another thin layer. I don't want it to be too dented and stuff, because we're going to go over it with our gel again. So it needs to be smooth. If your white gel polish is too pigmented, and sometimes can show, like when it's too pigmented, it can leave like dents, and you can mix it with a little bit of top coat, base top, not no wipe, and water it down a bit so it levels easier. I hope the corona is, hope we have a vaccine soon, because I want to teach again. The last time I taught was in Belgium. It was amazing. Which one is, oh, here's the gel polish. It was amazing. My students all did so well. So proud. And before that, this year I taught in Spain by my friend Karina Frias. If you love art, and I'm going to pop that in the lamp again. If you love art and extreme nails, like sculptures and stuff, and you should follow Karina Frias. Let me see. There. Yes, it. I used acrylic powder, colored acrylic powder number 35. But you can also use clear glitter if you want. Yes, the Joy is the same way. Yep. Thank you, Kamal. I haven't given workshops in the Netherlands yet because of the COVID. I moved here in March, end of March, April. And yeah, you all know what's been going on. Okay, I'm going to mix a little bit of top coat, a little bit, with my white gel polish to make it level out a bit, so you don't get the dents, because Ugly Duckling white is super pigmented. I want to give workshops in Holland, but I'm waiting for this COVID to just go. And I really don't like online classes, people. I'm so sorry. See, I don't mind doing like quick designs, but if I have to do a character, I'll go nuts. Because I mean, the phone is like practically in my left eye. Super uncomfortable. If I have to do that for 4 hours or longer, I would die. So I mixed the white gel polish with a little bit of Tacky Top to make it smooth. So it evens out. How much time do I have? Oh, I don't. An hour is almost up. I'm going to have to shut this down and save it, and then come back for the next parts. Okay, see how it levels out when you use gel polish mixed with top coat. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop soon. And I'm going to come right back. I'm just gonna pop this in the lamp. Okay? And I'm gonna go and come back. How do I stop this? Hi, everybody. I'm back. Oh. Hi. Thank you guys for continuing to watch with me. I think I saw a question in the last live. Someone asked if they can mix the gel polish with no wipe, and that's fine as well. It's not a problem. Okay. So I put this in the lamp. See the last layer where I mixed with top coat, the white gel polish with top coat? It made it much smoother. Okay, so now I'm going to put another layer. Well, not another layer. I'm going to put a layer of matte top coat over the entire nail. Something in there. Oh, so annoying. You could also leave it shiny if you want, but I like the frosted look. So it's going in the lamp again. Which gold glitters are we talking about? Akintayo. Do you mean the silver glitters? I've been using 035. You can also use clear glitter if you have it for these nails. And for this one. It's still in the lamp. It's cooking. It's coming. I'm not using any gold glitters. I don't know. Above the previous sets, from these, this is not glitter. This is crystals. All of them. Yeah, they're crystals. So bling. And here I used chrome. These are from 3 years back, so and this is striping tape and clear glitter. All right, so we have to wipe the dispersion layer to get that matte, that glow up. Let's look at it become pretty and frosted. Gorge. Alrighty. We are going to outline the snowflake with art gel. If you have potted gel, you could also use potted gel. I'm going to use, or should I, let me just show you potted gel as well, because we use the art gel. Let's show you the potted gel. This one is the pre-version, but it's really pigmented as well. I don't have the lovely new ducky on the lid. That is so cute. Oh my goodness, the color gels that are coming out in December are so pretty. So I have the old packaging, but they have a duck on this with the color that's in the pot. It's so cute. Alrighty, so I'm using the potted gel. You could just use this instead of gel polish if you want, but then you'll have to use like a gel brush, obviously, because it's in a pot. Okay, so I'm going to have like this little bally on my striper, and I'm going to pull down, shouldn't be too big, pull down and trace over what we just did. And it can be a little bit thicker than the line underneath because we want to cover that up. We don't want to see that. That's why it's important to make the lines very thin. I hope that you guys recreate this. I'm gonna be so happy if you guys do. I love when people recreate. Tag me in it, because that's, you know, that's a respectful way to go about it, but I'm gonna repost you for sure. Make sure that you tag me in the picture and in the caption, just in case I miss it. You know, I don't want to miss it. If you tag me, for sure I'll see it. Basically now I'm just outlining. I put a little bit too much product. I almost want to wipe it off, use less, but I won't. But I'm taking too much product. No, I'm gonna wipe it. Sorry, because it's annoying me. So after I do this outline, I will sugar it with clear acrylic. If you want to leave it shiny, you don't have to sugar it with clear acrylic. When you draw, make sure to lean on something, on your finger. Don't float and draw. That way you have totally no control. I'm basically outlining. Same as what we did with the other one. Just to give it that little 3D effect, make it pop. You can do this in different colors as well. I was thinking of doing a pink one. And if you need art gel for that, for pink, you could just mix white with red and you'll get pink. So I always use art gel or thicker gel paint for the 3D stuff. Also for my sweaters, the the color gels that are coming out are perfect for sweater. And there are lots of colors, so you don't have to mix. Now I'm going to outline here. I can't wait for Christmas. Even though it kind of sucks now, I can't wait. At least I'm with my mom. Oh, that's sad, but you know. My sister asked me to come to Sur, and I'm like, no. I'm gonna have to go in quarantine because Holland has so many cases, and no. No. And you're gonna make me work. She has the salon now in Suriname, where she sells Ugly Duckling products. So for the people in Suriname, if you need Ugly Duckling products, she has everything. Now we're going to make those little swirlies. You press it down and you pull it, make it go from thick to thin. Press it and you let go. Press it and let go. And there you go. There you have that 3D effect. See if I got those lines. And you can continue. You can make like polka dots like snow, or just keep it subtle. Whatever you want. Be creative. Now I'm going to sugar with our regular acrylic. It's always, I don't do acrylic. I don't even know how, I've never done it before, but I always have some clear acrylic powder. Oh, did I just touch that side? Oh my goodness. Did I? No. It's always good to have some clear acrylic to sugar. And we're sugaring until you see no more shiny spots. We want to let the acrylic powder, the clear acrylic powder, really penetrate through the art gel or color gel, whatever you used. And again, if you want it shiny, you can not top coat. I mean, not sugar, and you don't have to top coat. You just stick it in the lamp. Okay, I think that should be good. Tap that nail. Nothing shiny anymore. Nope, I'm gonna put it in the lamp for a full cure. Okay, that was it. That went fast. The color gel does have a tacky layer, so you'll have to wipe it. Thank you, Sana. If you guys have any questions, I'm here. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Pampering Nails. Thank you, Vanessa. My sister's called Vanessa too. You're welcome, Ugly Duckling Nails. Can't say no to you ever. You're welcome, Chloe. I hope you guys learned something. It's pretty simple, right? I mean, yeah. Get those customers on their way. Merry Christmas. You're welcome, Lee. Ja, ik heb al met Patricia gesproken. Yep. Thank you. I mixed the clear snowflake. I mixed the builder gel with some white art gel. A very, very little bit of white art gel. Okay. As I mentioned before, have a different brush when you take off the clear acrylic. A different brush for clear and a different one for, how do you call it? For glittery ones. Oh, I still have to do the crystal. Okay, you guys have a few more minutes with me. There's a crystal in the middle of the snowflake. You don't have to do that, but you can. I would come back to do a 5K if they wanted. But I like being in Europe. It's more accessible to the world. It feels, I love Canada. Love Canada. Love the food. Oh my goodness. But I'm putting a little bit of stick it right in the middle with a blinger tool. But I want to be on a flight close to Suriname. I want to be on a flight close to Spain. Like, you know, that it won't take 24 hours to get somewhere. So that is why I am happy to be back here, even though the weather is just as cold as Victoria. Okay, I put a little bit of stick-it. If you want to warm it up, I usually put it between my legs to get it like liquidy, but it's fine. I also work with it like this. When it's cold, it tends to become a little bit hard. So there I have that crystal in the middle. I'm gonna give it a full cure again. And then we're really done. I love poutine. Oh my goodness. I have like a favorite restaurant. Well, it's not really a restaurant, but I used to go there often for Wing Wednesday. Wing Wednesday at Buc-ee's. If you live in Victoria, go to Buc-ee's and go there for Wing Wednesday and eat ponzu ginger wings and poutine, Texas poutine. It has like fried like onions and jalapenos and cheese. Oh my god. Okay, let me just stop. This is nails. Yeah, my mom's watching TV and she's a little bit deaf. So she has news on loud. Okay. So you guys are ready to do some Christmas nails. Now I know there are a lot of designs, but most of them are pretty much done the same way. If you know how I do these, you can pretty much do most. So that's this. Yeah, I'm hungry too. So I'm gonna stop. Okay, thank you guys. I hope you guys have an awesome Christmas, and I hope I see lots and lots of banging nails. Take care, keep safe, and I hope next year I'll see all of you because I want to go everywhere. Bye, everybody. Lots of love to you guys. Bye.